I like, click, subscribe, do all that right on top of this. It's Netflix time. This movie is called Sweet Girl. He lost the love of his life to a pharmaceutical company's greed. Now his daughter's without a mother and he's without justice. For now. So an action-adventure drama just came out. It's about an hour, 50 minutes long. Spoiler alert, let's just get it. So we start off with the scene with this dude named Ray on the rooftop. He's talking to this FBI agent and she wants to try to help him. Oh shit, it's Aquaman! Well, he doesn't believe anything she's saying. Then he just jumps off and dives straight into the water, just like on some Aquaman shit. Yeah, I know he's doing a different movie, I get it. So we go back to a couple of years earlier where he's enjoying his happiness in life with his wife Amanda and his daughter Rachel. Then we found out within that time that Amanda has cancer. Mom gave Rachel a stuffed bunny for her birthday. Rachel called it Paloma. I'll tell you the reason behind that later on. Rachel would always stay in the gym with her dad, training to be a fighter and whatnot just like her dad. But over time, her mom started getting worse. So Ray's trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, why she ain't getting better. She's like, you gotta talk to Dr. Young for that one. So he goes to speak to this doctor. Now apparently she was supposed to get a supplemental drug to keep her healthy. It turns out a certain pharmaceutical company pulled back on the drug. And this drug was basically her only hope of getting better. Another problem is he financed his house and everything else to make sure she was able to get this drug. And now the doctor's telling her the pharmaceutical company's banned it. I ain't got no good feeling about this. So while he's in the hospital, he turns on the news and he's watching this guy named Keely talk to this lady named Diana Morgan. And basically, he's the guy responsible for pushing back the drug. Oh snap, that's Doug from The Hangover. So people been calling in the show to voice their complaints, and then Ray actually calls. He tells him flat out, if his wife dies because you didn't want to help, I'll kill you with my bare hands. Yeah, Keely, you should be nervous. Then Ray and Rachel spend the last few remaining moments with their mother Amanda, and she ended up dying right then and there. Ray's about to spaz all the way the fuck out. 6 months goes by, he's in the gym just frustrated. He goes home and sees past due bills from the hospital. Rachel's like, man, don't let me pay that shit. Mom died there. The crazy thing is the drug wasn't even that expensive, but the bio companies were in debt with other companies, and that's what made it more expensive to send it out or whatever. So all of a sudden this reporter named Martin calls him and tells him he can get justice for what happened to his wife. Basically saying he could get information on everybody including Keely. But he needs Ray to meet him somewhere. So he's heading over towards the subway. He meets up with the guy Martin. Rachel somehow ended up following him. When he finishes telling him all the information, this random hitman comes through and stabs Martin. Then the hitman and Ray start the beef. In between the battle, Rachel gets tossed out the subway. Ray ends up getting stabbed and getting kicked through the glass window. The hitman gets away. And they're both just laying there licking their wounds. 2 years later we see Rachel in the gym. She's getting some training done. She puts this guy in the chokehold, he taps out. But she doesn't let go right away. She's zoned the fuck out. They had to get somebody off him. Then we get this speech from Diana Morgan. Her, Keely, and this guy named Vinod are all up to their activities. Acting like they're doing stuff for people, but they're really not. Just lining their pockets. Meanwhile, Rachel and Ray have been living in a dirty apartment, getting all the information they can on Keely. Ray's still trying to fight the cause, but Rachel then gave up on it. She's like, look, man, we ain't gonna be able to beat these niggas. So they got this charity auction happening tonight, and Ray makes his attendance. But why though? Because Keely is there. So he put an out of order sign on the bathroom door, dressed himself up like a waiter, just so he could spill a drink on Keely. But when Keely and the security guard tries to take him downstairs to use another bathroom, Ray makes his move with a fire extinguisher and knocks one of them out. Then he gets his hands on Keely. Then he finds out the guy Vinod is the one that sponsored all his activities. Back and forth, more tussling. One of them had a gun, but he ends up killing Keely. Done deal dead. Keely shots the security guard by accident, but he got choked out. Done dealed him. He goes back to the apartment to get Rachel. Tells her to pack. We gotta get the fuck out of here. FBI on the case. They try to get information from one of the security guards that survived, but he didn't really tell him a whole lot of nothing, except the fact that he heard Ray say something about wanting revenge. And she wants to go back to the office. Is like, let's review anybody that sent out any threats to Keely. Meanwhile, Rachel's on the road with Ray. They talking about heading to Canada or some shit. Meanwhile, FBI gets back at the office and finds, or here's the recording making Ray making threats to Keely, which was like 2 years ago. So they know his information and find out what kind of car he has. Apparently some other niggas do too. They stop at a spot for a motel. So while the FBI agent is doing her research, she actually gets a call from Rachel talking about this. He needs help with her dad. But she knows they're just gonna try to kill him. She knows the mission that Rachel's been on and she's trying to befriend her. And she gives her an online number to call or whatever like that, but use a burner phone. Rachel's starting to think it's a bad idea and then she hangs up the phone. Ray apparently bought some bells from the gift shop and hangs up on a door just in case somebody unexpected comes for him. That's pretty smart. So he's basically prepared if, cops come for him or hitmen or whatever. And there's two guys that found out where his hotel is. They got guns. He had the one guy go through the door. He's like, all right, Rachel, we gotta get the fuck out of here. So they're trying to sneak out. One dude catches him. He fights him off. He got beef. Hangs the guy by his own gun. Done deal dead. Then the other guy pops up. They get the rumbling. They both go out the window and hit the fucking car. But he murdered the guy with his own gun. Done deal dead as shit. And Rachel's just standing by the car like, yo, what's good? Meanwhile, the FBI gets to their apartment. Gets most of the information they need. Rachel and Ray are back on the run again. He's thinking to himself, they're not gonna make it to Canada. Then we go to this car spot. And the hitman's there. And he acts like he's gonna buy a car from this guy. But he ends up murking him, leaving him for dead. Takes a trash bag, puts some money in it, gets himself a shotgun, puts a for sale sign on another car, and rides off in a van. Meanwhile, Rachel and Ray out in the middle of nowhere, it's snowing, and he took the phone off of Keely so he could get to trace the calls of Vinod. Basically, he's about to set up how he's gonna get him. He closes off this one road or tunnel. Then she's trying to teach him how to shoot a gun. He wasn't even hitting the target he was putting up there. It's like, come on, man. Then while he's busy, she makes another phone call to the FBI agent again. She's like, man, I don't know what he's gonna do next. She's trying to console her, calm her down. Then she tells her about Panola. So basically, she couldn't get a pet when her mom had cancer. She was gonna get a pet that name, Panola. So that's the story. That's where that came from. That's what she ended up naming her stuffed bunny. She keeps trying to give her the strength and courage to be strong. I'm thinking to myself, why is this agent really not trying to figure out what Ray is? She's more concerned about Rachel. Then she gets back in the car, has a one-on-one with Ray. He doesn't want to ride with her. He's gonna put her in danger or whatever like that, but she's not gonna leave. So they riding out together. Then we get a scene where the hitman's in the forest too. Is he close to Ray and Rachel? What's he doing? What's his plan? Later on they ride over to where Vinod stayed at. But the hitman pops up too. Only thing is they don't know that. The cars are leaving. Ray already set the plan in motion. He put out spikes on the road to flatten tires. The cars got around it. They went through the tunnel, but the tunnel was blocked off by a tree. They tried to go backwards, but Ray blocked them off with a tractor trailer. The thing Ray didn't count on was the hitman being at the other end of it. Ray finally catches Vinod and he starts asking him for information. Vinod tells him Diana Morgan is at the top of the whole organization. But before he can do anything, the hitman shoots Vinod. It's like, what the fuck? And afterwards, he starts going after Ray. Ray does escape, but not before he shoots out the tire. Later on, they head into this diner. But he goes in there knowing the hitman is there. Man, this scene is off the chain. Then he starts talking to him about his past, about how he had to fight for everything. He's got somebody else that he works for. He's basically just knocking off people that know anything about their circumstances. And basically telling them that he's going to keep hunting them. It was a weird conversation, but they got to understand it with each other. Then we found out Ray stole a tow truck because his car was the dun-dun-dun. FBI got the report later on. Then for some reason, they ended up driving back into the city of Pittsburgh. And of course, a helicopter's watching them. And the chase is on. They end up chasing them in the Piss-Towel Stadium. Because Raven Nation over here, we don't fuck with that shit. Anyway, he climbs up a ladder, and this is the scene at the beginning where he's on top of the roof. They have him surrounded. This is where the FBI agent is talking to him again. And she's talking to him saying, your father was a good man. You shouldn't be doing this. Wait a minute. What the fuck? Are you serious? The person she's talking to on the roof is not Ray. So 2 years ago, back at the subway terminal where he's getting chased by that hitman, and he got thrown through the window, turns out he died right then and there. So you're telling me throughout that entire time, Rachel was the one that killed Keely? She killed the two guys in the hotel? She was the one pointing the gun at Vinod, running from the hitman? She was actually the one talking to the hitman in the diner. What in all the fuck? So all those times she was calling the FBI agent while doing all this shit. And if she knew it was her the entire time, how was she helping her? I'm starting to question her actions. Yeah, Rachel's mom and dad died because of some political bullshit. But Rachel was running around killing these niggas too. So she was the one that actually jumped off the roof and jumped into the water. Damn, that's a high-ass jump. So she basically hit the water. They came on the scene, put her in an ambulance truck. But she cut herself free and escaped out of that shit. Made the ambulance flip over on the side. And now she still got a mission to complete. Go find Diana and finally put this to rest. So Diana's on stage doing another campaign. Rachel's there. And also the hitman's there too. Before she can get to the room, the hitman shows up and they have a final beef. At one point, she tried to drown her. She's like almost damn near dead, but she snaps out of it. Turns it around on him and stabs him multiple times. Done deal, deaded his ass. Then she gets to the room and had a one-on-one with her and Diana. She ready to kill her, done deal, finish her off. All she wants is the truth, but Diana tells her everything. About how she had somebody order a hit on her, confessing the company shafting her, about the medicine and whatnot, all type of shit. The thing is, she doesn't kill her, she just dips out. So now you're thinking to yourself, why didn't she kill her? Cause all she wanted to do was get a confession on the phone, audio tape, nigga. How she gonna get this information to the police? She on the run. Well, apparently that's the reason why she was talking to this FBI agent. She got the information to her through the phone number that she gave her. And after that, Rachel pretty much gets a taxi to the airport. Diana and all them corporations are going down for their crimes. Rachel's just flying out the country. So it was a wild turn of events to find out that Rachel was actually doing this and not Ray. Shit's crazy. Sweet Girl on Netflix. Check it out. Like, click, subscribe, do all that. You already on top of this. Look, these are the easy best. Big. You got that slogan.